So thank you for joining us today for this Q&A. We've had questions flooding in over the email the past few days, just about questions about the Vitality Program and the things that we've been talking about before. So we figured we would jump on here, do a live Q&A and answer any remaining questions that people have in person. It's much more fun, I think, to connect this way than over email. So here we are. Thank you so much for being here. And we will start taking questions when everybody's ready. Yeah, I'll just check where we're up to. Hey, Mum, are you ready?
I am.
Okay, great. So here we are. I was just explaining we're here on the live Q&A and we're ready to take questions about the Vitality Program or anything else that anybody would like to ask us. Absolutely,
we are. And happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Thanks for being here on Saturday afternoon if you're in the UK. That's great. Okay, so if anybody has any questions, we'd happily take them.
Yeah, just let us know what it is you want to talk about, and we're happy to talk about. We won't be talking about the football this afternoon, but anything else we're up for. And it's not because we don't like football, it's because of the particular teams that are playing right now.
Oh, okay. So we've got two questions exactly the same from two different people, but that's perfect. So we can answer them both at the same time. And the question is, how does it work? How does the program work specifically?
Okay.
Do you want to field that one, or do you want me to?
I can. I think we both should do it because we both have different parts of it that we are most involved with.
Sure.
Yeah. So Anna and Sarah, the Vitality Program is a 100-day program. I don't know. I'm saying this all in a little bit of a vacuum because I don't know if you made it to the webinar or not, or if you've read any of our stuff, or if you've been to our website. So I'm going to assume you don't know any of it, and just talk accordingly. So it's a 100-day program. It's specifically for women. It's specifically, we call it a weight loss program because you lose weight, but for my, as far as I'm concerned, it's a health creation program. So you're not just losing weight, but you're improving your health, and therefore preventing the possibility of chronic diseases in the future. Because most of the women that we get on our program are women of a certain age. So they're 40 and above, often 50 and above. And so, you get to that age and you just start thinking, I really need to start taking care of myself. But your focus so far has been on the weight because that's the thing that preoccupies you. You deal with cravings, or you feel out of control with your food patterns, you comfort eat. Here's the thing of it. It's a completely individualized program. So we help you get to the bottom of what your issues are, not just eat this, don't eat that. It's way bigger and deeper than that. And one of the biggest things that we offer that nobody else does is an incredible amount of support in group coaching calls every 2 weeks, where Lucia and I will both be there with the other women on the program. You can ask questions, you can talk about your challenges, you can tell us what your particular issues are. We celebrate your wins. We hold you accountable. You have an accountability partner. And you check up on each other, support each other. It's a massive amount of support in a very gentle, kind way. However, as we say, and we said on the webinar, because you join with a particular goal in mind, it's our responsibility to encourage you and in a way hold your feet to the fire so that you can really achieve that goal. That's it's one of the main differences, I think, that separate us from everybody else.
Yeah, I think the Vitality Program is a totally unique approach to weight loss designed for women over 40, because we know, and that women over 40 have different needs. Their bodies behave differently when they get to a certain age, and they just need different things. The diets that are out there at the moment that require you to drastically reduce your intake of food, or live on shakes while the rest of your family are eating proper meals, or do tons of exercise that is just beyond what you enjoy or are capable of, are not what women want when they get to a certain age. They want something that takes into account how they feel now, how they behave now, how their body is now, you know, the other responsibilities in their lives, the other people in their lives that they are responsible for. And so that is something very important about the Vitality program, that it's specifically for women of a certain age who have families, and maybe grown-up children, maybe young children, but yeah, just who are not up for this kind of, oh, I want to get abs in 6 weeks because I'm going to Ibiza type diet that seem to be flooding the market at the moment. So I think one of the key things that we were talking about in the run-up to the launch of the Vitality program was that we encourage you to eat more of the right food. If you were on the webinar, you'll know that it's all about nourishing your body with good food instead of depriving it of food, and exercising less, because we don't encourage you to do massive amounts of cardio that puts increased amounts of stress on your body. So that's one of the key features that I think older women enjoy about the program, is that it's not a deprivation diet and it doesn't require, you know, 7 days of extreme exercise. And something else that's very important is we look at stabilizing your blood sugar levels. That's very important for all women, not just of a certain age, but as you get older, it can become more of a problem. We work at eliminating cravings, which a lot of the women were asking about on the webinar. It's a massive problem for so many women, the cravings for carbs and the cravings for sugar. So we get down to that in the very first few weeks of the program. We look at getting rid of those forever, so that you're free to make food choices that you want to make and that serve you, rather than being a slave to, you know, cravings of certain types of foods. We look at regulating your hormones so that your mood stabilize. That's also a key part of the program that is directed at older women. And if you were on the webinar, you'll know how much your hormones dictate the types of food that you eat. The types of food that you eat dictate your hormones, and that, you know, is responsible for your moods and your weight gain and where you gain the weight, and if you're hungry and if you're satisfied. So we look at stabilizing those as well. We look at increasing your energy levels and regulating your sleep patterns. We look at reducing your stress levels and generally just giving you more confidence, helping you to feel better about the body that you're in, and whilst helping you to change it to the body that you want. So that's the basic kind of rundown of the things that we cover in the program, that makes it specifically designed for women. I'm going to take a question. Anna says, that's good, as I have a dodgy back and can't do intensive training. So totally understand, Anna, and a lot of the women that we work with are heavier and are older, and so they have things like knee problems, joint problems, back problems, like yourself. And so we're not ever going to say, well, you know, you have to do this type of exercise, or that it won't be as effective for you because you can't do that type of exercise. What we do is we find a type of exercise that works for you, that gets you the results you want without putting pressure on parts of your body that are in pain or that you have an injury with, but that you can just do gently at home, getting the same kinds of results as you would be if you were doing different types of exercise if you didn't have a bad back. So that's... Can
I jump in there a second?
Yeah, oh, sure.
Totally agree, obviously. I think the thing about exercising that's again different on the Vitality program is we are not telling you to exercise so that you can burn calories per se. We don't do the calories in, calories out equation. So we're not saying, you know, you have to do an hour of the treadmill so that you can burn 300 calories, and that's a calorie deficit that you put yourself into. Because as Lucia already said, in the process of doing that, you work up a massive stress response, which increases your cortisol level, which puts on belly fat. And so the whole thing works against you. What we talk about is that the body needs to move. It's designed to move. It was made to move. It evolved to move. So you need to keep it moving. And the reason you need to keep it moving is so that you don't get stagnation, so that your lymph system flows well, because that doesn't have a circulation. It only moves through your system when you move. It's dictated by contraction of your muscles. So your lymph system needs to be flowing, which helps with your detox, which is another issue around weight gain and loss. You surge blood through your liver, which helps with that detox. There are so many reasons for moving, which are not to do with burning calories. And that's kind of crucial for women on our program for all the reasons that Lucia said, because often you're at a stage of life or a fitness level where you couldn't do that cardio even if you wanted to. But there are many things you can do, and walking is one of them. And walking is a brilliant exercise. You can walk at whatever speed that you can manage for as far as you can manage. And you can do that every day. 15 minutes is going to make a huge difference just to get your body moving for so many other reasons. And the thing is, the strange thing is counterintuitive in a way, that the more you move, unless you're doing some kind of extreme sport, the more you move, the more you get energy. It gives you a feeling of energy and euphoria. It improves your mood. Yeah.
And I think that's another, you just touched on another point there, Mum, is that the key aspect of the Vitality program is that it's sustainable. It's stuff that you enjoy doing. So once you start going for a walk every day and being outside in the fresh air, you feel better, you enjoy going for that walk. It's, if we say to you, right, go and run around the block 10 times now, you're not going to enjoy that, and you're not going to do it, and you're not going to want to do it every day. So one of the key elements that we insist on in the Vitality program is finding out what works for you, so that it's sustainable, so that it's stuff that you enjoy doing, it's food that you enjoy eating, it's easy to input into your life because it is stuff that you enjoy doing, basically.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll just say one more thing and then we'll get back to Anna, because she's got some good questions racking up there in the so sustainability is key, and we are talking about building a lifestyle. It's about a total transformation of your life, so that you start at the beginning, and after 100 days you've worked out what kind of things you want to put into your life, what kind of things will serve you, what kind of things are counterproductive for you. You've worked out strategies, you've put some new habits in place, you've got goals that you've achieved, you have a feeling of momentum, you are well on your way to building a lifestyle that is going to sustain you forever. This is the whole point of the Vitality program. As I made this point on the webinar, is unlike, and this in a way is answering Anna's question about Weight Watchers. So I know I shouldn't really mention another company by name, but the big diet companies out there, most of their profit is built on repeat business, because you go, you work hard, you lose the weight, you stop, you put the weight back on, you go back, you lose the weight, you put back on, and you've all done it. You yo-yo dieting, which once you've done that a number of times, your body is in a state of chaos. You've disrupted your metabolism. It gets harder and harder for you to lose the weight, harder and harder for you to sustain that weight loss. So we're not about that. We say, don't take this personally, but once you leave us, we don't want to see you back. Not because you go somewhere else, but because you don't need it anymore. We are talking about no more dieting ever, putting an end to dieting as part of your life. It's done. You've got strategies which you can use if you go off track, and we all do, because it's life. We don't live in a vacuum. Shit happens. We have emotionally distressing events. We have pressure at work. There are so many reasons why we might go off track. But the thing with the Vitality program is you'll have all the skills, all the tools, all the habits, all the strategies, everything ready to put yourself back on. Whatever, God forbid, someone in your life should pass away or get really sick, and in that moment you have to deal with all of that. And yes, okay, you'll start comfort eating and all the other things that we all do, but when it's over, you don't stay with that. You get back on track, because you know what serves you, you know what makes you feel good, and it's worth more to be feeling good than it is to be eating one more donut. Which, one of the things we do is also look at patterns of food and how you use food and what role it plays in your life. and how it makes you feel. And women report, they say the things that I was eating, once I really got mindful about it, once I got awareness, I realized as soon as I'd eaten it, I felt like crap. I felt sick, I had a headache, I had no energy, I got irritable, you know, all kinds of negative feelings. And I'm not talking about guilt, that, oh no, I just ate a cookie and I said I wouldn't, but literally not making your body feel good, because it's not giving your body what it needs to do the job it's designed to do. And that's what we focus on, nourishing and nurturing that body of yours so it can be what it's supposed to be, and a blessing to you, not a burden. Yeah.
Great point there. So we'll get back to the questions. Anna says, I have friends who do Weight Watchers, but as soon as they stop going, they put weight back on. Do you re-educate? That's a brilliant question.
It is, and I think I might have already answered that for Anna.
Okay, do you think you covered that in the last point? I mean,
think so, because
we do re-educate. I think it's worth just stressing that point, is that the whole point of the Vitality program is looking at how you do things in a completely different way. It's unlike any of the other diets out there that will kind of just say, don't eat this, do eat that, do this exercise, don't do that, and then while you're on the program, you know what you're doing. What we're doing is saying, okay, let's look at your life as a whole, let's work out strategies that work for you, and let's forget everything you've learned about weight loss and look at this in a completely different light, according to, you know, what the science says about nourishing your body and just moving in gentle ways. And yeah, so we definitely aim to re-educate on the program for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a fundamental re-education, and then lots of support and encouragement as you go. And then once it's like the scales fall from your eyes. Once you really understand this and you see how it all works, you can never go back. You can never go back, because you always want to support your body and yourself in a way that serves you, in a way that gives it the best shot of being there for you. You know, my favorite quote, I'm always saying it: if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? And I think when we've been through long periods of, for instance, yo-yo dieting, neglecting ourselves, doing things we know is counterproductive, we start to blame our body. We start to lose confidence in it. We start to feel as if it's letting us down. And your body will never let you down if you give it what it needs. So that's our angle. That's basically our premise. Mm-hmm. It's about transformation. It's about building a lifestyle that supports you mentally, physically, and emotionally. So all of you, because you are a whole and complex woman. And that's another thing that separates us from diets out there, because they are not individualized. They are one size fits all. And it doesn't work like that. Some people do better as a meat eater. Other people do better as a vegetarian, for instance. And once you start really paying attention to what you're doing, all of that becomes quite clear.
Definitely. It's similar to when we start to look at things like sleep and stress. It's not a case of, okay, you need to do this to get more sleep. It's a case of, what do you need to get more sleep? Let's look at that on an individual basis and work out a routine for you. What is it that causes you stress, particularly in your life? And let's look at ways for you to deal with that as an individual, not just this kind of, like we said before, one size fits all, this, go away and do this and you'll be fine. No, what do you need in your unique circumstances to make this work for you? That is the theme throughout the Vitality program. So we'll go on to
absolutely. Here's another question from the chat now. Does it mean eating all organic food? No, it doesn't. I mean, in an ideal world, yes, we would all eat organic food. And in my ideal world, there would only be organic food. Because the more people who eat organic food, the cheaper it gets. But where we are right now, it's not like that. Mainly we would say, if you can afford it and it's accessible to you, then absolutely eat organic. If you can't, then, and it's not always possible for any of us to eat organic all the time, we have to do the best we can. So we eat local, and we eat real food. those are the most important things, really. It's about eating real food. It's about eating food that have got maximum nutrition for your body.
It's, you know, it's much more important that you're eating vegetables instead of processed food than it is that you're eating than it is to eat organic vegetables instead of processed foods. It's making the switch from processed to real food. It doesn't have to be organic, but it you know, we are very big on increasing your veg intake, increasing your fruit intake to a point, you know, just getting back to eating real food, cooking real food. We have an amazing recipe book with over 140 recipes that we've put together and crafted ourselves, tested vegetarian, meat options, dairy-free, gluten-free, for every kind of diet that's out there. And they all consist of ingredients that you know and you love, you've grown up with. It's shepherd's pie made with sweet potato instead of white potato. It's, you know, it's food that you know, that you enjoy, that you know how to cook, that you can buy easily where you live, and just put together in a different way without the additives, and, you know, getting back to real food.
Yeah, absolutely. Like my mom used to cook in the early 50s. When there wasn't all this processed food around. So we're very big on being able to make this accessible, sustainable, affordable. There's no point in me telling you to eat a bunch of ingredients you've never heard of, you can't buy anywhere locally. It's costing you a fortune. You only need half a teaspoon of a bag of something in order to make a recipe. They're not those kind of recipes. They're going to be recipes that you completely recognize, but they've got new healthy twists on them, and they are made with real food that you can buy in your local shops or supermarket.
Yeah, I think that's something else that bugs me personally, is if I'm looking for recipes on the internet because I want to try and if somebody on the program asks for something specific and I'm looking for inspiration to make new recipes, I often come across a smoothie with 25 ingredients, you know, a sprinkle of this, goji berries, you know, chia seeds, all, you know, just long lists of very expensive ingredients, all for one smoothie. It's very unuseful, I find, because it's expensive to make. You know, it's all fine and well saying, oh, they're all superfoods, but you don't need 25 different superfoods in a smoothie. You just need a few good staple ingredients that are going to give your body what you need, and those are the kind of recipes that we like to focus on at Vitality TV and on the program.
Yes, absolutely. And we have smoothie recipes, and they are delicious, and our women love them, and they've probably got 4 or 5 ingredients each.
Max.
You can find them right by where you live.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay, so next question, how long does it last?
Okay, so do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so the Vitality program lasts 100 days, and it's broken down into 10 levels, so you get 10 days per level. And how it works is, at the beginning of each level, you'll get an introduction into what's going to be covered during that level, and you'll get some goals that you need to work towards during that level. 10 days is a great amount of time to assimilate the information and to get a new habit going. Now, you're going to have the 100 days to get your habits to actually stick, but the 10 days per habit is kind of a good block to say, okay, this week I need to, as we were saying before, go for a walk for 15 minutes, say 3 times a week. Over the space of 10 days, it's a nice period of time to get yourself into that routine before moving on to the next level. All of the goals are completely attainable and realistic. We're not going to ask you to go from 0 to 60 in the space of a level. It's just gently looking at where you are now, where we'd like you to get to by the end of the 10 days, and just working out ways that you can implement the healthy changes into your life. For example, going for a walk for 15 minutes a few days during the level, and then we move on to the next level. And then during the next level, you will still continue to walk, and you'll introduce a new healthy habit, so that by the time you've got through all of the levels and the 100 days are up, you've had a systematic increase of healthy habits into your lifestyle, which you then take on way beyond into the rest of your life to create your new healthy lifestyle. So it's 100 days, and yeah, it's a really fun and enjoyable time. And when we start next week, it will just be before summer when it ends. So I think it's going to be a really nice time to start summer feeling refreshed and full of energy and slimmer and looking amazing and feeling amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next question. So is contact with yourself, I hope that answers your question. Let me know if you need any more information on that. I'm sorry. Is contact with yourselves on the program via internet, or do you ever meet up for sessions? So all of our group coaching is done via video conferencing. We use a facility where you can have lots of people on the line at the same time. So it's a nice way to get people all together in the same place at the same time. Generally, we find that people come from all over. On the last program we had, was it 2 or 3 women from the States, one from the East Coast, one from the West Coast. We had women from living in the north of England, in the south of England. So doing it all online and having that video conferencing facility makes it possible to have everybody in the same place at the same time. It's a really fun and safe environment, actually. We meet every 2 weeks and we just have a chat and we listen to people's progress and celebrate wins, and if people are struggling we support them and give them feedback, and we work on individual strategies. So the calls are a lot of fun, yes, but they're all done online at the moment. Anything to add to that, Mum?
No, I don't think so. Our experience has been that the women really look forward to those calls. They really look forward to them. It's a time for them to share what's going on with them, to meet other women, and it's incredible. It's spread all over the globe, and you just have a small picture of the other person, and yet you feel like you really know them. And yeah, they just work so well, better than we ever imagined they could, actually.
Yeah, it's
Thank God for technology.
Yeah, it's a really nice place to be, and I think that, as well as the Facebook group, it makes a massive difference to the women who do the program, because they have the call once every 2 weeks, so they know they're going to hang out, but then in between they know that they can go in Facebook day or night and they can say, like for instance, we just had a woman who was working on her sugar addiction, and we said, okay, you know what you need to do is each day you come on Facebook, you tell us how you're doing, and we'll all support you through it. So every day she came on and she said, day 1, no sugar, feeling grumpy. Day 2, no sugar, feeling a bit better. And the whole group was there saying, that is amazing, well done, you can do this, don't give in. And it's just such a supportive and caring environment. So yeah, the group calls and the Facebook group are just an amazing place to be. It's really inspiring to see how women really club together to help each other out when they're all facing the same kind of issues.
Yeah, it's also a great place for other women, because on that particular program we'd had another woman who had conquered her sugar addiction already, and she was able to give the other woman who was just going through it now some tips and some strategies that she'd worked out and her own experience, and just encourage her to hang on in there. And we always obviously chip in whenever we can, if we've got something to say. To some extent we hold back because we like the women to support each other, but if there's a particular question that they need, then obviously we'll be in there to answer it. And when we come across new research or new ideas about things, we always post that in the Facebook. So you're constantly getting input. I think one more thing I want to say about that whole thing before we leave the program itself and the levels is, it's a lot of small steps moving in the same direction, and we're there every step of the way. So it's not the kind of program where you're starting on Monday, so you have to spend the whole weekend buying special food and getting prepared and getting ready. And we have a welcome call to start off, and then we send you off with a list of things to do, which are all about setting your baseline measurements, so that you know exactly where you are right now, and you know what kind of things to look for to mark your progress as you go through. So it's a gentle change.
Yeah, we're not into drastic overnight transformations at all, because we're fully aware that those are the ones that don't last. Any of us could hammer it for a few weeks and say, oh my God, yes, I've lost weight, but you can't keep that up. And when you give in, that's when you go, oh, I'm just going to eat more food and not exercise because I feel really unhappy with myself now. So we are about making small changes over longer periods of time so that they stick. That's the most important thing, and that's something that's very important to us at the Vitality Program, is making changes that stick. It's no good to us if you make a ton of changes and then you don't keep up with them, because our whole thing is we want you to succeed. We want you to continue this for the rest of your life. As Mum has said before, we don't want to see you again. We want to know that the changes you made stuck and you have continued to live your healthy life long after the program has finished. And
we want you out there telling other women about it. So many women need it, so you can just move right along and get on with your brand new life. Enjoying yourselves, and tell other women that we're here.
So we have another question.
Any more questions in there?
Yep, a couple more. Can someone join at different times? Is each group at the same level? So yes, each group is at the same level. We only open enrollment it works out probably to about 4 months, because by the time you've had the 100 days and then you've launched it again, it's a bit longer. But it's very important to us that the women go through the program at the same time, so that they're all facing the same challenges and experiences and wins at the same time, so that we can celebrate them together, we can tackle them together, we can go through them together. If that's just the way the program is. It starts on a specific date, everybody starts at the same time, everybody moves through the levels together. We have the group calls where we all talk about the level that's just finished and how it went, and what we need to change and what we need to do differently, or what we're celebrating. And it just helps to have, it just means that the support is more consistent and easier for everybody if they're all at the same level, rather than somebody being much further on and coming on to a group call where somebody's still struggling with something that they got past a while ago, and they want to talk about different things. So we keep everybody together, and we only open it really 3 times a year by the time you've done the 100 days and the enrollment process. Anything to add to that, Mum?
No, that was well explained.
Thank you. When is the next one going to start? The next one is going to start next week on the 2nd of March, on the Wednesday. So the welcome call is on Wednesday, and then we take it from there, basically. So yeah, we are starting very soon, and we are really excited. We've got some great women on board already, and the next 100 days are going to be a lot of fun. So I hope that you'll join us, and we'll do this together. So another question now, how much is the cost? Okay, so the cost at the moment, we have a special Mother's Day discount at the moment, based on the fact that the program is going to start on Wednesday, beg your pardon, and it's Mother's Day next week here in the UK. So people that join this go around will be just getting into the swing of things by the time Mother's Day comes. We'll be really excited about the Monday after and starting in all earnest. They'll have taken their baseline measurements and they'll be raring to go. So as a special Mother's Day treat, we have a special offer on at the moment. And the cost of the signature program, which is our most popular program, which is the one with the group calls and the Facebook group and all of the other group support that we've talked about today, is just $297. And you really won't find this level of support anywhere else for that kind of price. Some people have said, oh, it seems like a lot, but really you've spread that over 100 days with the amount of support that we give you, and the changes that you make, and the lasting, more importantly, changes that you make. The price $297, the women tell us that at the end of the 100 days, they're saying to us, it is amazing value. I mean, that is just incredible. I cannot believe I got all of that and changed my life and transformed my health for that kind of a price. So that's the cost. Somebody else, have you got anything to add to that, Mum?
No, well, only that we're talking about an investment in your entire future. You have to shift your mindset from it being a diet, it being another diet, to an investment in absolutely transforming your health, and therefore your weight, and therefore your relationships, and your social life, and all the things that suffer right now because of where you're at, all the events that you don't go to because you can't decide what to wear, you don't feel good in anything. Your relationship with your nearest and dearest often suffers. You don't feel sexy anymore. You don't feel attractive anymore. When you walk in a room, you're hoping nobody notices. All those things. That's the kind of transformation we're talking about, where you get fully back in life, and you really live your life. Not sitting on the sidelines waiting to start life. When you've got your weight under control, when you have your eating under control, etc. All the reasons why you're not fully engaged in life right now. So it's an investment in that. It's an investment in yourself. And I know I made the point on the webinar, as women, we're not used to investing in ourselves. We have to learn to put our oxygen mask on first, because we're raised to nurture everybody else first. And if there's anything left, then we might take it for ourselves. And we have that completely the wrong way around, because as women, we hold up more than half the world, actually. When we're functioning well, the family functions well. We have such a powerful role in this world that really we do the world a disservice if we don't take care of ourselves, because so many people rely on us as women. If you think in your life how many people rely on you being there, getting there on time, taking them somewhere, cooking meals, doing washing, or even at work, whatever it is you do in life, is so many people rely on you. And so for that's the other side of taking care of yourself. It's because first and foremost, you need to take care of yourself, for no other reason, for nobody else but yourself. And there's all these other people in your life who immediately benefit when you really start taking care of yourself.
Yeah, we had an email from a woman who signed up today, actually, and her concern was that she just didn't have the time to do the program. And she said, I'm really stressed out at the moment, and I'm under so much pressure, and I know that I'm just concerned that I won't have the time to give it what it takes to do it properly. So I had a conversation with her, and we kind of had a chat, and I said, what you need to think about is, can you afford not to do this? And can you afford not to allow yourself that time? You're under pressure, you're under stress, and that is the key time when you need to stop and you need to say, okay, you know what, I need to invest in myself right now, because doing things the way I'm doing them isn't helping anybody. The more stressed you are, the more pressured you feel, it affects your relationships, it affects your health, it affects your performance, it affects your ability. So I know we're talking about time, but time is almost a bigger investment than money for some people, but they both behave in the same way. It's can you afford not to do this right now, given how you feel about yourself, how your health is, how your weight is, how you feel when you look in the mirror. A lot of the women have just talked about lack of confidence and all of the things that mum's covered, not wanting to go to social engagements. What is it worth to you to say, I'm going to put the time into this, I'm going to put the money into this, and I'm going to create an entirely new lifestyle for myself that supports me being the woman that I want to be? It's an investment, definitely, but it's one well worth making, because when you do, everything else in your life improves massively.
Yeah, the knock-on effects are huge.
For you and for everybody else around you, and for your performance at work, your ability, your partner, your friends. When you walk into a room and people see how happy you are and how much you've changed, they're happy for you, and they're oh, have you seen so and so, she's glowing and she looks amazing. I mean, that's one of the women who did the program last time. That's the first thing she said. All my friends just say I'm glowing. I get there and everybody says, oh you look amazing. What is that worth to you? Whether you feel like you have the time right now to dedicate to it, or the finances, it's an investment worth making.
Yeah,
for the payoff that you get.
You're talking about the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And we have a mantra at Vitality TV, which is health underpins everything. And we're really big on that, because ultimately, if you don't have your health, you don't really have anything. And there's never a good time. There's never a perfect time to start taking care of your health. The perfect time to start taking your health, of course, is yesterday. But we can't go backwards. We can only go forward. So the next best time to start taking care of your health is today.
Yeah.
And building a healthy future for yourself, and not, it's all about aging as well. As women, we age. We can delay a lot of that aging. A lot of the symptoms that we suffer, which we put down to just getting old, actually, it's a direct function of health, and we can build health for ourselves. We can build a healthy future, and a healthy future for us means a healthy future for everybody in our lives. So yeah, there's never a perfect time.
I think I will just touch on something very, and I don't want to keep people too long, but I will just touch on something very, very personal, because I have been working on a talk that I'm giving in a couple of weeks for International Women's Day, and my own transformation. I feel better, I look better now than I did 10 years ago. When I was 25, and like most 25-year-olds, felt omnipotent and was, drinking and partying and under so much stress at work, I thought everything was wonderful. And when I look back on those times now, I think to myself, God, if only I'd known then what I know now about what it really feels like to be truly healthy and to have that basis for everything else that you do in your life. I wish I had known what I do, and although I'm under the age bracket for the vitality program, just because we've aimed it at women slightly older, I know what it is to feel better as I get older, if you like. And Mum, you're in your 60s now. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
You can say I'm 64. I'm not ashamed of that.
Vibrant and full of vitality, and I think we both know what it is to have health and to make it a priority, and what that brings into your life. And that is partly why we're so passionate about helping other women realize the same, because it's
priceless. It's totally priceless. And I might add, Lucia, in 5 years' time, you will be.
I will. I certainly will.
Eligible for the program.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think probably we should start wrapping this up now.
Yeah, I'm just going to cover one final payment, because one final question. 2 people have asked the same question about, can we make payments? And you definitely can make payments. We have 2 payment options available. One is over 3 months and one is over 6 months. So we've tried to make this accessible for everybody. We've spread the payments over 6 months if you need it, or do it in 3 if you need it, or make a one-off payment if you prefer. It's entirely up to you, but we do certainly have different payment options. And if the payment options don't work for you, drop us an email and we'll have a chat about it, because we really want to make this accessible for sure.
Absolutely. And it comes with a 30-day no questions asked, feel great or your money back guarantee. So there's absolutely no risk in trying it for 30 days, meeting the other women, see what you think. If it's not for you, just let us know.
Yeah, exactly. So
we're confident once you join us, we're totally confident that you'll stay, because we know the benefit that the women who've done it have had. But there is no risk to you. You can try it for 30 days, and if it doesn't work.
Yeah, so you'll be finishing level 3, and by then you'll know without a doubt whether it's for you or not. You'll have done 3 levels and you'll be either in love or not, but we're so totally convinced that you will be totally in love with the program, that you're backed by a 30-day money back guarantee. And if you don't love it by the time you get to level 3, just tell us, and we'll refund 100% of your investment with no questions asked.
Yeah, I think we can't say fairer than that.
So there's someone here saying, I agree with all you're saying and I want to feel like that. I'm going to join. Can't wait. Yay, that's brilliant. Thank you so much.
Right.
So this has been really fun. I think we're going to wrap it up there. I can't see any more questions. And I know you guys, it's Saturday afternoon or morning, depending on where you are. So we don't want to keep you too long. So we'll let you go, and we really appreciate you coming. We hope we've covered off all of your questions sufficiently. And anyone needing a follow-up, feel free to give us a call, or send us an email and we can arrange a call if you need it. So I think we'll leave it there.
Excellent. All right.
Okay, thanks
Have a
everybody.
lovely weekend, everybody.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye.